By the time a job is posted, the hiring decision is often already made. I know that because I was in those rooms. I was the chief people officer sitting at that table, and what I watched happen week after week is going to change how you think about every career move you make from this point forward. Whether you've been applying and hearing nothing back and cannot figure out why, whether you've just watched someone else less qualified get the promotion that you deserved, whether your company just announced a reorg and you realized you have not thought about your own marketability in years, or whether you've been at the same company so long your resume is basically a time capsule, or whether you're just done doing the work of a more senior leader on a paycheck that doesn't reflect it, and you've been done for a while. This, my friend, is for you. Here's what nobody talks about at your level. You did everything right. You worked hard. You delivered. It paid off. You were praised. You were promoted. You were the person they counted on. But somewhere along the way, the very thing that made you successful started working against you. You became so good at what you do that now you're indispensable exactly where you are. They do not want you to move because they'd need 3 people to replace you. You're known for your productivity, your reliability, and your execution. And that, my friends, is the trap. Because when a leadership role opens up, they're not looking for the hardest worker in the room. They're looking for the next strategic leader. And if all anyone sees when they look at you is someone who gets things done, then you're invisible for the roles that you actually want. And in interviews, you are sharp, you are prepared, but you're still not being seen as the next obvious strategic leader. And you can't figure out why. I call this the tragedy of the high performer. You're not stuck because you're not good enough. You're stuck because your strengths have outpaced your positioning. And the most painful part is that you're not just stuck, you're tired. You've been carrying this for a long time and doing it without complaint because that's who you are. And you deserve more than that. And that changes today. My name is Shayla King. I spent 2 decades in corporate America working my way up into the C-suite and eventually serving as a chief people officer. I have led HR at the highest levels and mergers and acquisitions. I've sat in the rooms where hiring decisions get made for director, VP, and C-suite roles. I have seen behind-the-scenes conversations that candidates never get to hear. And for years, I've taken everything I learned in those rooms and used it to coach senior leaders privately through my executive coaching one-on-one practice. And the results are real. A finance leader who negotiated a $45,000 raise. An engineer who left her company and landed her dream role with a $90,000 salary increase. A leader who had been trying to get an internal promotion for 3 years and landed it in 90 days. And a C-suite leader who went from 310 to 500K role overnight. The system works. And today, I'm giving you access to it. I want to tell you something that I watched happen in hiring meetings over and over. A leader leaves the company, and in the meeting where the leader goes, hey, by the way, John's leaving on my team, immediately it's asked, who are you going to replace him with? And the leader goes, Chris. I'm thinking Chris. He told me that he's ready for a VP role, and I think he is. And everyone in the room goes, Chris. Yeah, Chris would probably be pretty good. I think Chris would work, yeah. So everyone in that room nods. And they finish the meeting, and as they leave, someone says, hey, by the way, HR is going to make you post for that role. So make sure you do, and then just tell Chris to apply to it. And the leader goes, okay, I will. So now he goes back and he follows the process of putting it into the system and making it public. And then a leader sees it and goes, oh my God, I'm perfect for that role. I've got the perfect experience. I'd be great in that role. And they apply. So let's say that person's you. And what you now have is weeks of the entire lead team that have already been thinking about and imagining Chris in that role. And now they meet you in the interview for 45 minutes. An unknown character, somebody that they don't know your experience, they don't know your personality, they haven't worked with you long enough to trust you, they don't know you personally. And you have 45 minutes to unseat Chris. the guy everyone's already head nodded about. That is the problem. That is where you run into issues because it does not matter how good you are if they don't know who you are. You see, the decision is made before the application even lands. That's how it works. That's the game. And the game can feel rigged. But once you know how to play, everything changes. There are 4 things that separate the leaders who get hired from the ones who get passed over. First, clarity. They know exactly what role they want, what they bring to it, and what story they are telling. There's no ambiguity. They're specific. Second, positioning. Their resume, their LinkedIn, their presence in conversations all say the same thing. They have a leadership brand and they use it consistently. Third is relationships. The best roles are filled before they're posted. The leaders who land them are already in the right conversations with the right people before the opportunity appears. And fourth, presence. They show up to interviews as a peer, not a candidate. They are not proving themselves. They are already leading. And when all 4 of those things are working together, getting hired is not a hope. It's a matter of time. That is what Land the Role teaches you to build. Land the Role is a 5-step system. That's it. 5 steps, no fluff, nothing you do not need. It's the exact process my private clients use, distilled into a course that you can move through fast and start using immediately. The first thing in it is a bonus tool about determining your dream role. You'll get very clear on exactly what you want. The role, the pay, the lifestyle, the leadership level. No more applying to everything and hoping something sticks. You know precisely what you're aiming for and why. And that clarity alone changes how you show up in every conversation. And step 1 is building your story vault so you can show your value. Then you use it everywhere. In your resume, in your LinkedIn, your interviews, your networking conversations, so that every touch point tells the same clear story. And hiring leaders remember you as the obvious choice. Step 2 is around building your leadership brand. You're going to define what your personal brand is, and you're going to choose the words that you want people to feel when they experience your leadership. And you'll learn to use them naturally and repetitively as you show your value. Step 3, we're going to create your relationship strategy. The best roles come through people. You learn who you need to know, how to reach out without it feeling awkward or transactional, and how to build the genuine connections that put your name in the right rooms. That is 5% rule in action. And step 4, update your resume and LinkedIn. It's going to be fast, not perfect. You update both with the show framework. So your experience tells a clear, compelling story about your impact, not just your tasks. It's clean, it's confident, it's modern, and guess what? You'll get it done in under an hour. And step 5, nail the interview. You'll learn exactly how to show up calm, confident, and in control. How to use your leadership brand and your show stories to lead the conversation like a peer, not a candidate. You're not proving yourself. You're already leading the room. And that energy switch is everything. And then I've got a bonus module in there. Once you land the role, I'm going to show you how to negotiate it so you can get paid the most possible. It's where most people leave money on the table. Once you get the offer, you'll learn how to negotiate from a place of clarity and data, not fear or gratitude. You'll know what the market pays, how to make the ask confidently, and how to land on a number that actually reflects your worth. This module exists because landing the role is only half the win, and one successful negotiation can pay for this course 5 times over. It's 5 steps, and it's everything you need to land the role and to get paid. Now, let me tell you about a few of the leaders who've used this system. Monica is a global engineer who's been treated like an intern despite 10 years of experience. You may have felt this if you ever grew up in a company, right? After working through visibility, relationships, and branding framework inside Land the Role, she left her company and landed her dream role with a competitor with a $90,000 a year salary increase. Fewer hours, a better team, and leadership that treats her like the expert she is. Ellie is a data security executive who negotiated a $45,000 raise in base salary alone. She says she got 4 times her financial investment back and 10 times her happiness. She's now stepping into her role as a confident, high-performing executive. One of my male clients has been trying to get an internal promotion for 3 years. 3 years. And after applying the relationship and exposure strategy inside the system, he landed it in 90 days. Got a $25,000 increase and finally has the scope of work he's been craving for years. And Angela, a C-suite leader, used this exact system to go from 310 to 500,000 base alone. With bonuses and stock, her comp package is 7 figures. And last month, she retired her husband. That is what we are really talking about here. Life-changing money. Whether you're going from 150 to 220, or 220 to 350, or 350 to 7 figures, these moves change your life, not just your title. It is your kid in club sports without worrying about how you're going to pay for it. It's choosing the college, not just hoping you can afford it. It's taking an amazing family vacation instead of the one you just talk about. Picking up the tab at dinner with friends, retiring early. These promotions change our options. They change our future. They change what is possible for the people we love. And friends, there is nothing wrong with wanting more money. That is why this work matters, and that's why I built the system. And these examples are not outliers. This is what happens when senior leaders stop waiting to get picked and start positioning themselves as the obvious choice. So here's what you get inside Land the Role. You're going to get that career planning blueprint so you can decide exactly what you want and get clear on that. You'll get the 5 simple steps to land the role and the negotiation module. So once you land it, you can earn as much as possible. And I have 2 more amazing bonuses. You're going to get the mindset mastery, so you have the resilience and persistence to see this through. Because the job search has an emotional weight, and most courses ignore that entirely. And you're going to get the AI job search guide. This one's different. Most courses were built before this technology even existed. And this guide gives you done-for-you prompts for every stage of the process. Tailoring your resume for a specific role in minutes. Drafting outreach messages that do not sound like templates. Preparing for interviews by simulating tough questions. And researching companies before a conversation. Everything you used to spend hours on, done in minutes. It's like having a strategic thinking partner and automation available at every step of the process. And every month until you land, you'll get access to the hiring room. The hiring room is a live session with me where I teach on one of the concepts from the system and then I open it up to you. You can bring your real questions. Bring the thing that has been stopping you. Bring the interview where you made it to the final round but did not get selected and still don't know why. Bring the promotion conversation you do not know how to start. Whatever is standing between you and the role, bring it. That is what the hiring room is for. And inside the hiring room, you're also going to get a personal email from me every month with practical tips and what I'm seeing in the market right now. You get lifetime access. Everything is downloadable, and you can move through it in a weekend or one module at a time. It works either way. Need your resume updated tomorrow? Great, jump in right now. It's $2K for leaders who want the insider playbook to land their next 200K plus role. It's the same system my private clients use, the ones who pay 25 to 35K to work with me for 6 months. And negotiating just 10K more in your next offer, and this course pays for itself 5 times over. Land the Role is for experienced professionals who are ready for their next level and are done being overlooked. You know you can lead. You know you have the experience. You're just ready to learn how to position it in a way that gets decisions made in your favor. This is not for people looking for generic career advice. It is not for early career job seekers. And it's not for people who want someone to do it for them. It's for the leader who knows she's ready, who's done waiting, who wants the system and not the guesswork. If that's you, click the button below and get started today. You'll have immediate access to everything the moment you enroll. And if you want to talk through whether this is the right fit for you, before you sign up, you can book a free 15-minute call with our team. The link is right below. Your next role is not going to go to the most qualified person on paper. It's going to go to the person who knows how to lead the decision, knows how to position themselves. Let's make sure that person is you. And I'll see you inside the hiring room.